Happy Ramadan to all the followers of Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teaching.
What the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033.
Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone beseech for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teaching. Say he Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Amen. I'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have Brother Mutakabir Ali from New Jersey. We have Brother Minister Mutakwan Ali from Philly. And we have Sister Shaharazad Ali from Ohio. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today, we like to talk about Islam, the true religion of God, part 1. And this comes from Message to the Black Man. Now this is the chapter on Islam. This whole chapter is what in the New School Nation of Islam we leave out. This whole chapter. So this is what we talking about today is Islam. Now first we can go to, this is a video of the messenger.
And this is the man we have before us today, to whom praise is due. Master Farad Muhammad is that man that have the wisdom or the knowledge excuse me, of how the creation took place in the first place. That's what I mean, the creation of the universe, how it took place, and how life and everything began, down to 6,000 years of Mr. Yaqub and his world, and the knowledge of the world to come, of which he himself is the God of. He's the God of the next world. He's planting it now. And that world that he will set up, we see now gradually merging in, will be forever. There will be no change in that one. Because, well, the scientists just don't see through the future any other change, and they don't have too much knowledge of his change, as he has not let go yet. He brought me up pretty close, but he has not as yet opened up as we have in Bible and Quran. I have not seen and I have not heard, and it has not entered into the heart of us what that he will do. But we getting little inklings now. We are right in his time. And we do know that he's going to bring about a complete change. As study now for 33 years after his coming. I have learned my own self from study of his words, what he said to me. That it won't be a world like we see today, nothing of the kind, not even to the Orthodox Muslim. Their world will not even be considered.
Because in the new school stuff, we try to act like Orthodox Islam and the Nation of Islam is the same thing. You know, we act like it's the same, like it ain't no different. If I go pray in Juma and then I come to the temple, I'm just going to Juma. If I'm fasting during the month of Ramadan with them, it's the same, you know, if I want to fast, you know, in December with the Messenger. But this video right here, the Messenger, is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad interview part 4. The Messenger says that in this new world of Islam that Master Farad Muhammad is building, first he said that he don't even know what is going to be to come. He said that Master Farad Muhammad brought him up pretty close, but he didn't tell him what was over in the new world. He also said that he didn't even tell the scientists about this new world. He said he the only one who know. And he said in this new world that Master Farad Muhammad is building, he said that the Orthodox Muslims' way won't even be considered at all in Master Farad Muhammad's Islam. That's what he said. So Islam that we practice and Islam that the Orthodox Muslims practice is two different things. Because what we fail to realize in this new school stuff is that Orthodox Islam has always been opposition to the message. That's the only purpose for Orthodox Islam in America, is opposition to the message. Never was these Orthodox Muslims here in America to spread Islam. Never. They came here for business purposes. Because this country is like Las Vegas to the world. It's Sin City. All praise is due to Allah. So when these Muslims came here from overseas, they didn't come here to spread Islam. Why would you come to spread Islam in a wilderness of sin? Why would you come if you in a country that's an Islamic country? They ban alcohol in your country. They ban pork in your country. Why would you come here in a land of infidels to spread Islam? When the Holy Quran speaks against the infidels, the infidels gonna be destroyed. So why would you, as an Arab Muslim, come among infidels to spread Islam? Why would you do that? So when these Arab Muslims came to America, they came for business purposes only. It's the only reason why they came over here to America. Now, when the Messenger was raised up by Master Farad Muhammad, he was the first man who spread Islam throughout America. The Messenger. He spread Islam throughout America. So these Arab Muslims who was here began to get jealous of the Messenger. He was successful with Islam. He was transforming black people with Islam. He built an economic base with black people with Islam here. So the Arab Muslims that was here still didn't spread Islam, but they used to speak against the Messenger. Say he don't teach true Islam. That's what they used to say against the Messenger. But that didn't stop the Messenger. The Messenger kept on being successful. So then after so many years, the Messenger would have disgruntled followers who would lead the Messenger. And the first place they would go is to them Orthodox Muslims. Be a Sunni. That didn't stop the Messenger. The Messenger kept on going. Then in 1965, the white man got involved. The white man said, y'all ain't doing a good enough job to try to stop this Elijah Muhammad. So in 1965, the white man got what is called the Immigration and Nationalization Act of 1965. And we see this as President Lyndon B. Johnson signing the immigration bill in 1965. Before 1965, it was only white people who was coming over here in droves to America. It wasn't all these Arab Muslims coming over here. Because the white man's immigration law said that it's only he want his brothers to come, for real. You know, some of y'all Muslims can come over here for business, but we mainly want our brothers to come over here to enjoy this heaven we building off these niggas.
Right, yes, sir.
They coming over here to enjoy this, not everybody. Just our white brothers. So when they saw the messenger raising up the black man, it's like, no, he destroying our heaven. Teaching these people a knowledge of self.
Right.
Building these people an economic base. So what we gonna do? We gonna change our immigration act. And we gonna say all these Muslims from these Muslim countries, come on over here and try to spread Islam to stop this Elijah Muhammad. That's how you get Sunni Islam. So when you see all of these Muslims in the Nation of Islam talking about they doing June, they them traitor Muslims. Just keep it real. They them traitor Muslims. They them Muslims who say we're going to go over here with these disbelievers and go pray with disbelievers. Because the messenger taught us what a disbeliever was in the message to the black man. He made it plain to us what a disbeliever is in the message to the black man. This is another part we keep out. It's called hypocrites, disbelievers, and disobedience. Because when we don't teach on this, you can tell a brother, we just going over here to Juma, he teaching Islam too. He talking about Allah too. So let's just go over here with him and practice Juma. But the messenger says, he says in the 150th verse of the 4th chapter, they are warned against trying to deceive Allah and his messenger. They say that they believe in one and disbelieve in the other. But disbelief in God or his apostle means disbelief in both. He says, this verse, chapter 4, 150, reads like this. These who disbelieve in Allah and his messenger and desire to make a distinction between Allah and his messengers and say, we believe in some and disbelieve in others, and desire to take a course in between. These are truly disbelievers, and we have prepared for the disbelievers an abasing chastisement. It says, Holy Quran 4, 152 reads, and those who believe in Allah and his messengers and make no distinction between any of them, to them he will grant their rewards. And Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. The messenger says, this is going on today among my followers. Many of the hypocrites who go out from me will still say to you that they believe in Allah, but do not believe that I am the messenger of Allah. This is as if they say they do not believe in either one of us. You cannot get to Allah unless you come through a messenger, apostle, or prophet of Allah.
Yes, sir, that's right.
That's what the messenger said. Because when Malcolm left the messenger, where'd he go? Sunni Islam. When Wallace left, where'd he go? Sunni Islam.
Right.
When Akbar left, where did he go? Sunni Islam.
That's right.
The hypocrites who leave me, it's happening today.
Yes, sir.
They say, I believe in Allah. I just don't believe Elijah Muhammad is the messenger. So you become a Sunni, doing Juma. That's what they were doing. The messenger said, plain as day, in hypocrites, disbelievers, and obedience.
Yes, sir.
Telling us what a disbeliever is. A disbeliever is a person who make a distinction between the two.
Yes, sir.
You can't get to Allah without going through a messenger.
That's right.
Here in America, we ain't know nothing about Islam. We wasn't taught Islam. So how you getting to Allah? You can't say you getting to Allah through Prophet Muhammad. He ain't come to America. He went over there in the East. You can't say that some Arab Muslim came over here and started teaching you Islam. You can't do that.
That's right.
Can't do that. There's rules to Islam. Allah sends prophets and messengers to the people from among the people.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah. So you don't get away with all that I believe in Prophet Muhammad stuff. Because during the time of Prophet Muhammad, he had the same problem. When he was raising up his people, doing the same thing the messenger was doing, you had these same kind of people like, I don't believe the Prophet Muhammad is the messenger. I believe something before him. He ain't teaching the same thing somebody else was teaching before him. They was doing the same thing. The messenger said the hypocrites say the same thing they were saying in the past.
Yes, sir.
They continue to say that. So these Orthodox Muslims did not like how the messenger was raising up the black man. Now we could go to, this is the April 7, 1956 Pittsburgh Carrier. This called The Rise of Muhammad's Temple of Islam. Now this picture right here that we showed last week of the messenger making the prayer, this comes from this newspaper. This is the messenger right here, even though the picture ain't really clear. But this is this picture right here. This was in 1956. The messenger showing the black man how to pray.
Yes, sir.
In 1956, them Orthodox, it wasn't no Sunnis doing Juma. If you was a Muslim in 1956, where you gonna go do Juma at? If you wanted to do Juma, since we doing Juma now. If I was a Muslim follower of the messenger in 1956, who I'm about to do Juma with? What black Orthodox Muslim or Imam was in 1956 teaching black people Islam in 1956? When the messenger said, the rise of Muhammad's temples of Islam.
Right.
The message.
Yes, sir.
Allah raised up a messenger for the black man, not for nobody else.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Everybody who in Sin City is in Sin City because they want to be in Sin City.
That's right.
If Allah was destroying Las Vegas, and we all in America know Las Vegas is Sin City. Allah don't like what's going on in Las Vegas, Sin City. So he got people who choose, I like what's going on in Sin City. I want to go to Sin City. So if Allah about to destroy Las Vegas, before he destroy Las Vegas, he gonna find them people in Las Vegas that didn't have a choice to be in Las Vegas before I destroy it. Because these people was forced to come here. It wasn't their choice.
Right.
But these people who choose to come here, they like Sin City. So if I don't destroy them with Sin City, they're going to be trying to make another Sin City outside of Sin City.
Yes, sir.
So all the people who choose to go to Sin City, I'm going to destroy them in Sin City.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to take the people out who didn't have a choice. That's why Islam came to America. All praise due to Allah.
Yes,
To save us from the destruction of Sin City.
That's right.
Allah want to destroy Sin City. He been wanting to destroy Sin City for 6,000 years.
Yes, sir.
So now is the time to destroy Sin City since 1914.
Yes, sir.
But Allah is giving a black man a chance.
That's right.
Because we was never taught Islam like them Arab Muslims overseas.
Yes, sir.
We wasn't taught Islam. Them Arab Muslims wasn't worrying about us. They didn't care nothing about us.
That's right.
Them Arab Muslims been in America since the 1700s. Being Muslims, establishing mosques, but wasn't spreading Islam. They was here when these devils used to have caravans of white people, hanging black people, sending postcards saying thousands of white people, lynching and burning black people by the state.
Yes, sir.
These Arab Muslims wasn't worrying about us. They used to have, and I was reading this article by, I forget her name. She was talking about how they had a lynching of a black man, and they was burning him at the stake. She said how they used to do this, because they would have crowds of thousands of white people. So they didn't want to kill the black man fast, because a lot of white people used to get paid for tickets to come see this stuff. So they wanted to give him a show. So what they say they used to do is they used to try to torture the black man and try to keep him alive as long as they could. So they had this brother, burned him at the stake. They started at his feet. They had him chained up. That fire got so hot the brother broke the chains. That's how hot that fire was. So when he broke the chains and started trying to climb up the little gate, they started sticking the brother to get him to fall off the gate. That didn't stop him, so they cut his hands and fingers off. That's what they used to do to the black man while these Orthodox Muslims here witnessing all that. They didn't do nothing to try to save the black man. So they said after they finally killed this brother through all that hours of torture, they said that when the crowd was passing by this brother and the whole crowd left, all them devils took body parts from this devil, from this brother, taking his fingers, taking his hands, his toes, his nose, to keep it as souvenir. That's what was going on for the black man in America when these Sunnis was over here. Not teaching you nothing.
That's right.
So what you look like today as a black man talking about you gonna go do Juma? Right. Telling the black man that Juma or Orthodox Islam and the Islam that Master Farad Muhammad is teaching is the same. Because it's not.
It's right.
So the messenger in this article called The Rise of Muhammad's Temple of Islam, it says, an example of tremendous success garnered in less than 24 years is the massive empire of Muhammad's Temple of Islam number 2, located in Hyde Park area of this city's Great South Side. This success, which encircles numerous material holdings and a huge following, lists of temples, university, restaurant, bakery, and grocery and market, plus an apartment building with an estimated value running into many hundreds of thousands of dollars. The messenger was banging in the 50s.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
Yes, sir. That's right.
He was banging in the 50s with the black man.
Right.
Before many of these hypocrites who we worship today was even in the nation.
That's right.
The messenger was banging in 56.
Yes, sir.
For any of these people, for Muhammad Ali,
Right.
before any of these people joined the nation, the messenger was already banging. Before Sunni Islam, before these imams, before all that, the messenger was taking the black man,
That's right.
the dead black man,
Yes, sir.
raising him up.
Right.
And everybody saw. They giving an article on the rise of Muhammad's Temple of Islam. It says the followers of Islam in Chicago are part of some 500 million Muslims the world over. It says in 24 years, Muhammad's temples are located in many of the largest cities throughout the United States and North America. It says many followers travel constantly over North America making converts. Many followers. Not Malcolm Little. Many followers.
Right.
Travel over the country constantly making converts.
Yes, sir.
To document history. We want to change the history today and make it about the Sunni stuff. So because Malcolm X left the nation for the Sunni stuff, we act like he was the real reason why the messenger had all these people. Because he was the one, but he found out that the messenger wasn't teaching the right Islam, so he left and went to Sunni Islam. That's the narrative that they give, because it was really Malcolm X. It wasn't the messenger's program. But the documented history in 1956, it says many followers travel constantly over North America, making many converts, and it's still a sincere desire of Muhammad that the so-called Negro come into a knowledge of their own. Islam is growing at a very rapid pace all over America. This statement is substantiated by the fact that the Muslims are expanding in business all over the northern hemisphere. Muhammad's followers represent the largest number of Muslims, or they say Muslims, in the United States.
Yes, sir.
It's the messenger. He represents the largest, the black man,
Right.
the largest number of Muslims in the United States. These Arabs wasn't worried about spreading Islam until the messenger. So it goes on to say, they talking about the University of Islam. It says the university has an attendance of 500 students. Classes are continuous the year round. All subjects are taught and included chemistry, physics, higher mathematics, French, Spanish, and Arabic. Just a mess. 1956 was banging.
Yes, sir. That's right.
High mathematics,
Yeah.
French, Spanish, and Arabic, chemistry and physics in the University of Islam
Yes, sir.
for the kids.
Yes, sir.
It's the message. It wasn't no Sunni Islam.
That's right.
It wasn't none of that. So then it says the cafeteria in the university has a seating capacity of over 500. Here, American and Arabian cuisine is in order. The products used in the cafeteria are made and grown at Temple of Islam's farm and grocery and market. The messenger was banging in 1956
Yes, sir. Right.
without these Sunnis.
Right.
Where was a Sunni?
Yes, sir.
Where was a Black Panther?
Yeah.
Where was all these people we talk about today? In 1956, the Messenger had this much going on in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
In 2019, you can go to Chicago and won't see nothing close to this.
That's right.
The Messenger was banging in 1956. For all this stuff we talking about, the Messenger was banging.
Right.
It says the grocery and immaculate establishment is stocked with name brand food stuff. Carries fresh vegetables and fruits and kosher meats, including beef, lamb, fowl, and fish. The chickens and cows are raised on the Muslims' 200-acre farm in White Cloud, Michigan. So all this stuff the Messenger had, he was doing for self.
Right.
That's what the Muslims didn't like about the Messenger. He wasn't begging none of them Orthodox Muslims to come help him do nothing. He wasn't begging the white man. He wasn't even begging black people. Said that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right. Yes, sir.
And that's the huge difference between this new school stuff and the Messenger. He only relied on Allah.
That's right.
He let everybody know God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
Right.
That was the Islam that the Messenger taught.
Yes, sir.
Master Farad Muhammad Islam. So it says the modern bakery produces 3 types of bread: cakes, cookies, and pies. The oven has a holding capacity of 50 loaves and 50 pies at the same time. Muslims also are employed as bakers, salesmen, and truck drivers. It says orders from independent store owners are coming in at such a fast rate that it keeps the staff going at full speed during the entire work period. So other people ordering stuff from the Messenger. 1956. And when the Messenger taught us Islam, he didn't teach us no Sunni Islam. He taught us some Master Farad Muhammad Islam. That's what he taught us.
Yes, sir.
Because the Messenger in the friendship of Allah. It's the May 8th, 1970. Muhammad speaks. It's called Friendship of Allah God. The Messenger made it clear on what Islam is. And this is what we don't say about Islam today. The Messenger says, Islam is entire submission to the will of Allah, God, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. That's what Islam is.
Right.
Islam don't mean because I'm going to Mecca and I'm doing the Hajj.
Right.
That don't mean, that ain't what Islam is. Islam don't mean I'm growing a beard.
Right.
Islam don't mean I'm praying 5 times a day. Islam don't mean I'm going to the masjid. Islam don't mean I'm reading from the Quran and learning Arabic. Islam means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
That's the message.
Right.
So if we teaching Islam, like how the Messenger taught Islam in the message to the black man, how could you go do June? How? If Islam means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and we teaching all the Muslims that. That's what Islam is. We teaching them what is Islam. We teaching them the meaning of Islam, the principles of Islam. Islam, the only true religion of God.
Yes, sir.
So if we're saying that Islam means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, he says the only true religion of God. It's the only true religion of God. All this stuff they doing ain't the true religion of God. Then you got Islam, the true religion of God, part 1. Islam, the true religion of God, part 2. Everything has failed. Scientology done failed.
Right.
Orthodox Islam done failed.
Yep.
The Black Panther Party done failed.
That's right.
Marcus Garvey done failed.
Yes, sir.
Noble Drew Ali done failed.
Yep.
Everything has failed.
Yes, sir.
This is Islam. He says, makes all things new, and Islam dignifies.
Yes, sir.
So we teaching Islam. How you going to do June? You ain't teaching Islam. We don't teach Islam today. So the Messenger goes on in the message to the black man. It says, Islam, the true religion of God, part 1. It says, he it is who sends his apostles with the guidance and the true religion, that he makes it overcome the religions, all of them, though the polytheists may be averse. So Islam which means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, is here to take over all religion. All of them. That religion over there with them Sunnis is here to take that too. Because when we look at Sunni Islam, we want to look at a few people who joined the Sunni Islam and made it popular. This right here, his name was Luau Center. This is an example of how Sunni Islam became popular. This brother right here name was Luau Center. A disgruntled follower of the messenger had formed some Hanafi, or whatever the name of the religion was. This brother's name was Ernest 2X McGee. He was a secretary for the messenger. So Luau Center joined him. This brother was a follower of the messenger. He ain't like the messenger. So he go with them Arab Muslims, them Sunnis. So now, he a Sunni now. This is how Sunni Islam became popular. Because he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's right.
With the Kufis.
That's right. Yes, sir.
This is how Sunni Islam became popular in America. It wasn't because they was building businesses. It wasn't because they was raising up the black man. It wasn't because they was making any kind of difference in America. The only way that this Sunni stuff got popular was from the disgruntled followers of the messenger.
That's right.
Going and joining them Arabs, and now they attracting other black people who don't know no better.
That's right.
That's how it happened.
Yes, sir.
But this wasn't even making no headway when the messenger was alive, because he was so successful. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's popularity didn't stop the messenger.
That's right.
It didn't stop the popularity of the Nation of Islam at all.
That's right.
What did stop the messenger? Not stop him, but what changed, I'll say, is when Wallace came out with this Muhammad Speaks newspaper right here.
Yep.
It's October 21st, 1975, Muhammad Speaks. This is that Muhammad Speaks where Wallace had all them brothers on their knees
That's right.
praying to a spook. And you will be surprised to see how many brothers was in here praying to this spook when you look at this paper.
That's right.
Like all these brothers was following the message.
That's right.
Look at it.
Yep. Yes, sir.
This is what changed the game with that Sunni stuff. This is how Juma got popular.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
Wallace did that.
Right.
Yes, he did.
A traitor.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
A hypocrite.
That's
Yes.
right.
Like the messenger said, it's happening today, he said.
Right.
Yes.
Many of my followers are leaving now saying, I don't believe that a messenger, Elijah Muhammad, is the messenger, but I believe in Allah.
Yep.
Right.
It was Wallace.
That's right.
And when you look at this Muhammad Speaks newspaper, it's surprising to see how many Muslims went with Wallace and traded on the message.
That's right.
Just like how we see today. It's amazing to see how many Muslims will go and do Juma and, with the Orthodox Muslims.
Right.
When the messenger was alive, Savior's Day was for Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Savior's Day wasn't for everybody. Now, what we do in the new school stuff, I think I heard the messenger say self-saviors one time. I think, yeah, it was 1973. That was the only time I ever heard the messenger ever say something about self-savior. And it wasn't a subject. He just said it.
Yes.
Now we take the self-saviors thing and make that the theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-savior stuff. Even though the messenger been teaching for 44 years. I mean, teaching all the time about Master Farad Muhammad. But he said self-saviors. So now we can take that and kick Master Farad Muhammad to the curb and say, oh, we self-saviors, brother. When self-savior wasn't even a subject. He just mentioned it.
Right.
We'll be self-saviors.
Right.
But all the time he talking about Islam, that means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
Right.
On Savior's Day, the messenger used to say, we can't thank Allah enough for his coming.
That's right.
Can't thank him enough.
That's right.
So Savior's Day was our way of having our day to thank our God and Savior.
That's
Yes.
right.
That's our day,
Yes, sir.
his day.
Yes.
The messenger say, every day is our Savior's day. Every day. Because he said that when Master Farad Muhammad make his new word, he said the Orthodox Muslim thing ain't even going to be considered
That's right.
in his word. Not only did the messenger say that, this right here is one of my favorite. When I read this, I like this one. Where the messenger just straight up told the believers, when you accept Islam, You won't even want to hear it no other way. And that came from the Theology of Time. Here you go. This is the September 10th, 1972 Theology of Time. This Islam with the message. The messenger said, we enjoyed our visitor yesterday, the Sultan of Ethiopia. He goes on to say, I'm going to try to visit him again. I have been to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, which they call it. I'm going to his mosque there. I looked at it when I was there, but I didn't go in. I just looked at it. You know, it's a nice, beautiful building, but I don't want to go in there and listen to that stuff. I'm the messenger of Allah for my people. Right. I'm not going in there to do that. I just seen it. So he says, if I go back to Ethiopia, he wasn't even saying he was going like if I go back. He said, I'm going to visit that mosque. It is the most beautiful building there in that city. I told him the next time I go to Ethiopia, I was going to visit that mosque of his. He says, after you get the new Islam that Allah is teaching us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, you're not going to be too particular about going to hear Islam anywhere but among yourselves.
Yes, sir.
All praise due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
That's how the messenger taught Islam. He never taught Islam making us to think that it was all the same. That you going to do Juma and you doing coming to the temple, it's the same. If you fast in the month of Ramadan with them and then you fast in December, it's the same. No. He was letting us know, I represent God in person to you.
That's right.
Islam comes to save you from the destruction of the white man.
Yes, sir.
This is what he told you to do. This how we pray.
That's right.
To distinguish you from them. It's just like how in the Bible where it talk about Moses. When that spirit was coming to kill all the people in Egypt. All they told them to do was put some lamb's blood on top of the dough.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Right.
Those who say, hey, put some on my dough. Hey, just try it. Put some on my dough. You say that's what God says, just put it on. Why not?
Right.
Put it on my dough. Some people like, no, man, ain't nothing going to come kill us. I don't want to put that on my dough. Keep on going. So when that spirit came to destroy them people, all the people who had just the lamb's blood on their dough said, that was it. Just choosing to say, okay, I'm going to submit to that. Moses said, God said he going to kill these people who won't have the lamb's blood on their dough. Just put it on my dough. That one little thing you submit to, save your life.
Right.
All praise due to Allah.
Right.
If the messenger told us this how we pray,
Right.
why you ain't going to pray like that?
Yes, sir.
You ain't never seen the messenger on his knees.
That's right.
Why you can't just submit to that? Before the messenger, you was praying to Jesus.
That's right.
Now you know though, now. You can't just do like this. This ain't good enough after a while. We be doing this for so long, it get boring to us. Like, I don't want to do that no more. I want to get on my knees and pray. I want to go to June. But submission, entire submission to the will of Allah, save our life.
That's right.
Because in 1956, who was doing June? When you saw the messenger in 1956 and he was successful, you wasn't trying to do nothing else. The messenger said, this how we pray, that's how we pray.
That's right.
The messenger say we fast in December, we fast in December. But when Wallace come around, he give you an option now. Tell you, because that's when the trial come. When you got an option. That's when the test come. Because when you forced to do something, a lot of times you just do it, hey, mama and them making me do it. So I'm just going to do it because mama and them making me do it. I don't really care nothing about it. But mama and them making me do it.
Right.
But when you got to make up your own mind on what you want to do, that's when the test comes.
Right. Yes,
All
sir.
praise due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
So the trial is on us now.
Yes.
The test is on all of us. What you gonna do? You can do what you want to do. If you want to go do Juma and still fake like you following the message, you can do that. You can still fake like you follow the message. You can still say Allah and be talking about this brother, talking about that brother. You can do what you want to do.
Right.
But the sincere followers of the messenger who submit, who say, I ain't never heard the messenger do that, so I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Them the ones who going to make it over.
That's right.
Because the messenger says in Islam, he says, this is Islam, the true religion of God, part 2. It says, set yourself upright to the right religion. This is what it says in the Holy Quran. Not to any religion, but to the right religion. Because if a brother offer to you Scientology, that ain't the right religion.
That's right.
If a brother offer to you Sunni Islam, that ain't the right religion.
That's right.
If a brother offer to you Christianity, that ain't the right religion.
Yes, sir.
But it says, set yourself upright to the right religion, before there comes from Allah the day which cannot be averted, and on that day they shall become separated. So Master Farad Muhammad eventually gonna separate us from all these people who doing what they want to do.
That's right.
So he says, set yourself to the right religion, Islam,
Right.
before there come a day where it can't be averted, and they gonna be separated. You don't want to wait to that day. So the messenger goes on to say, he said, we are now living in the time mentioned above according to the Holy Quran, when we as a people should begin setting our face upright to the religion in the right state, and stop believing in the slave master slavery religious teachings. Not just his teachings singular, his teachings plural.
Yeah.
Stop with his slavery teachings. The messenger told us what to do.
Right.
So he says, stop believing in the slave master slavery religious teachings, which are not in the right state. Then we shall be successful and the world will respect us.
Yes, sir.
The world will respect us. But when you join Sunni Islam, do the world respect you? No. The world only respected the black man when they was following the teachings of the messenger. Because in Islam under the messenger, he taught the black man the rise of the American black man, the opposition.
Yes, sir.
This is what Islam means under the messenger. The rise of the black man. Islam with them Sunnis don't mean nothing about the black man. Islam with them Sunnis, you can marry an Arab girl if you want to. You ain't gonna rise doing that. If you want to, you can totally turn your back on the black community if you become a Sunni. There ain't nothing in Sunni Islam that has you going out there getting the dead. You can just go to the masjid and go home if you want to. You ain't got to go and convert nobody. It's the same as it was when them Arabs was here before. But in the teachings of the message, the rise of the American black man and the opposition. Then you got another Muhammad Speaks newspaper. The messages say how to help yourself. This is Islam.
Yes, sir.
Where you gonna find something among some Sunnis that's gonna tell you how to help yourself as a black man? When Prophet Muhammad came and taught black people or taught them Arabs, did he teach us how to help ourselves? No, he did not. So then you got another progress section of the messenger. This is a progress section of the messenger. Because the messenger didn't just tell us about the rise of the black man, he showed us what the rise of the black man was. So this, the messenger showing us what not to do.
Yes, sir.
All this savage.
Right.
The messenger told us what was savage.
Yes.
Them Arab Muslims ain't teaching the black man what's savage. If you want to wear your hair like a caveman with them Sunnis, they ain't going to tell you not to do it.
No.
The messenger told us how to be civilized.
That's right.
Told us what was uncivilized. Then the messenger got in here again. He says, what is beautiful about wearing long hair? I can see nothing about it but savagery. You are following them into savagery. Showing all these black people with shorts and mini skirts on following the devil. That was the message. He told us what was civilized and what was uncivilized. But when you follow Sunni Islam, what do they tell you is civilized? I heard this brother, one of these brothers who was a follower of the messenger, and he went over to Sunni Islam. He started making jokes about the messenger eating peanut butter. He was saying when I was with the messenger, they taught us we couldn't eat peanut butter or peanuts. He said the first thing that he did when he went and joined them Sunnis was made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They were just laughing. Now that's basic knowledge in the nation. We don't eat peanuts.
Right. Right.
Simple submission to Allah.
That's right.
He making jokes about the messenger about peanuts. Something basic that Muslims know we don't eat peanuts. And he thought he was making a joke. Like that Elijah Muhammad gonna tell us we can't eat peanuts. So the first thing I did was make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
So that's why the messenger told us. This comes from the June 9th, 1956 Pittsburgh Carrier. The messenger says the knowledge of God, the knowledge of Allah, the supreme being, the true religion of Islam has never been taught to us by anyone before the coming of Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
Has never been taught to us. That was the Islam that the messenger taught. So if you know, as a Muslim, that Islam was never taught to us before the coming of Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, why would you go do June?
Yes, sir.
Why would you fast with the Orthodox Muslims? Because we don't teach Islam. We teach something different than Islam. So the messenger goes on. Excuse me. The messenger got another article. It's the June 20th, 1969 Muhammad Speaks. It says, Teachers of Islam. The messenger continuously taught us what Islam was.
That's right.
Every time he told us what Islam was, he made it known. Islam is entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. I don't care how much you science up Islam. When the messenger talked about Islam, he was talking about Master Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
You can science it up all you want to with this new school stuff. Because Muslims knew when they was following the messenger that them Sunnis ain't worshiping Allah. They worshiping a spook.
That's right.
That's what they worship. They knew that when you worshiping Allah, you worshiping Master Farad Muhammad. But how these brothers trick us up today is we play with the word Allah. Allah can mean anything with us, just like it can mean anything with them. So they saying Allah, they saying Islam. But Allah don't mean Master Farad Muhammad. Islam don't mean entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. It mean anything. When I say Allah, I could be talking about you. I could be talking about myself. I could be talking about some spook that lived 66 trillion years ago. So when the brother tell you to go do Juma, they saying Allah. You don't know who they talking about. So hey, Let's pray with him. So all pray to Allah. Make up in your own mind who Allah is. Allah can be this brother. Allah can be yourself. Allah can be some spook. But when the messenger taught Islam, he told us what Islam was and he told us what Allah was. Right. Islam means entire submission to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Right. So the messenger says, he says, the teaching of Islam that has come to us, the poor black people of America, is for the sake of saving us from the destruction of the present wicked world. This every black man and woman in America should know. The messenger was spreading Islam. That's right. Because he felt like every black man and woman in America should know why Islam came. Right. Them Sunnis don't feel that way about that Orthodox Islam. They don't think every black man and woman in America should know that. They don't even care. That's right. They feel like if you come to the masjid and you seeking it out yourself, that's how you get Islam. Them brothers ain't going door to door. Them brothers ain't selling no papers. Them brothers ain't inviting you out. Just if you see the masjid and you want to go, that's how you get it. They ain't coming to get you. Right. The messenger said every black man and woman in America should know. Yeah. That's right. So he goes on to say, he says the teachings of Islam is not something coming to us as a speech we converse over or a song that we sing. He says Islam is being preached to us, the black man in America, as it should not be taken lightly. Islam is a word in the Arabic language which means submit. Submit to the will of Allah, God. Since we are from Allah, God, and we are members of the family of Allah, God, we should take our place as members of the righteous family and do righteousness instead of evil. He says, for 4 centuries, we have been here in America under evil teachers, the white man. We have been molded after their character, and therefore now we are willing to do evil. For we were born and reared under such. So the messenger told us we was molded into the character of the white man. So now we do evil. This is why Islam came to Sin City. Because we was forced to come here. That's right. We are the people of Allah God. Our nature ain't to do evil. That's right. But since we've been here for 400 years, we've been molded into the character of the white man. Yeah. So we love doing evil. Right. So the messenger says we are originally from the people of righteousness. We are not originally people of evil. Allah God in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, invites us back to our original self and place under the name Islam. Yes, sir. That's the messenger. This is our original place, Islam, under the messenger. So the messenger says this is just saying to us, submit to me and do my will, and I will save you and set you in heaven at once. This is just exactly what he is saying when he offers Islam to you and me. So that's the message. He says, this is just saying to us, submit to me. Yeah. This Master Farad Muhammad taught. Submit to me. That's what he's saying. He's not saying just submit to Allah. He's saying that Master Farad Muhammad is saying to us, submit to me and I will set you in heaven at once. Yes, that's Islam. Yes. The teachings of Islam came to save us from the destruction of the white man. That's right. We must get that understanding. Yes, sir. He says Islam is the salvation of the black man. You were once in Islam. Hurry and take your place in it again. Save yourself and your family from the destruction of the wicked. So the messenger made it plain about what it was with us. So when we look at these Muhammad Speaks newspapers, when the messenger said that Master Farad Muhammad was going to make us successful and set us in heaven at once, this was what the messenger was able to do with the help of Allah. Yes. Set us in heaven at once. That's right. Bank for the black man. Yes, sir. In Sunni Islam, if they got a bank, they going to say bank for the black man. They going to say anything for the black man. No. Everything in Islam is for the black man. Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. Yes, sir. That's right. And that's what them Sunni Muslims didn't like about the messenger. So the white man, knowing that the messenger was here to raise us from the dead. They here to stop our rise. That's what they here to do.
Yes, sir.
So that's why they changed the Immigration Act to go out and recruit. They didn't just change the rules. They actually sent people over to the Middle East to recruit them to come over here. And today, Dearborn has the most Muslims, Arab and foreign Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan than anywhere outside of the Middle East.
Yes, sir.
In Dearborn, Michigan. Is that a coincidence that Master Farad Muhammad came to Black Bottom, Detroit?
That's right.
Now they got more Arab Muslims in Dearborn than anywhere outside the Middle East. That's because they're here to stop our rise. So when you see these brothers and sisters going over to Sunni Islam talking about we going to do June, them the traitor Muslims. Because Orthodox Islam is only here to oppose the message.
That's right.
To oppose the success of the message.
Yes, sir.
So when you got these hypocrites who still here today making you think they represent the message, when you learn Islam from the message, Islam, the true religion of God,
Yes, sir.
you wouldn't go pray to no Sunnis.
That's right.
Because the only way of salvation is submitting your will to do the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad.
That's right.
Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam, greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful. So, Master, this day of judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
Watch us on YouTube. Search Muhammad's Temple of Islam through your YouTube app, on your phone, smart TV, or your computer. Be sure to subscribe to Muhammad's Temple of Islam when you watch us on YouTube.